I'm about to show you the right way to upload a YouTube video in 2026. All right, so let's dive into the computer here, and you want to click this create button right here. Now you want to click upload video. This is going to take you to the YouTube studio page where you're going to select the video file that you want to upload. Once you have your video file, you're going to click the upload button on that. Now you should start to see this number go up down here where it's going 4%, 5%, and it should tell you the average amount of time that it has left before the video is uploaded. But unfortunately, most small channels get their upload settings wrong, and that can really cost them views wise. Because if you have the wrong settings, you can accidentally send your video to the wrong audience, which means that even if your video was great, it could still flop. And if you're currently getting under 1,000 views per video right now, then this is probably the reason why. So first things first, we want to add the title in here. So I will add how to get 1,000 subscribers. One thing to note with your title, you never want it above 67 characters. That's really the maximum that you can do. Even 67 is really pushing it. Ideally below 60 characters is the best for the title. Then we move on to the description. If you have a business or you want to send people to a certain page, then go ahead and drop that CTA up there at the very top. However, you really want to only have 1 to 2 links maximum per YouTube video, and the rest should be optimized around SEO and getting your video to the right audience. So what I always like to do, I don't ever write some long description. In fact, that usually hurts more than it helps. The most optimal way to actually structure a video's description is simply by taking the title and then rewriting it below. So how to get to 1,000 subscribers fast, and then we just make it look like a sentence. So we have this. I'm going to show you how to get 1,000 subscribers fast. That's the only line that we need in there. We don't need anything complicated, because if you add a bunch, it can really confuse the algorithm on who to send your video to. Whereas if you have just this simple thing that repeats the title, it's going to send the video to people who would be interested in the title, meaning that you'll have a higher click-through rate and YouTube will have much more clarity on who to send this video to. Then the only other thing that you need in the description is 1 to 3 hashtags. I typically like to just do 1 because that tells YouTube exactly who to send my audience to. The reason why we do hashtags on YouTube is not to get ranked in the hashtag and then push our video out to more people inside of the hashtag. It's to tell YouTube this video is hashtag YouTube strategy, meaning I should push it out to people who are interested in YouTube strategy. From here, we go on to the thumbnail. So for thumbnail, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to upload the thumbnail file. But one thing that you should know is that YouTube looks at everything for SEO. So for example, on my video, how to get 1,000 subscribers fast, the actual one that I posted, as you can see in the thumbnail, I'm showing me getting 1,000 subscribers. YouTube's AI is extremely advanced, and it actually analyzes your thumbnail to see if it's in line with your title. So you don't want to have a completely separate thumbnail from the title. Always make sure that there's congruency. And ideally, if you can have the word subscribers in the thumbnail and the title, and then you have 1,000 in the thumbnail and the title, then that is going to really, really help you SEO wise. The other thing on this part is the actual file name. So this file name was David Precall version 3, which for this video would not actually have worked well. Everything on your video is metadata. So when we uploaded this, what we should have actually done is renamed this file name to how to get 1,000 subscribers fast, and then uploaded that file to YouTube, because then the metadata would be in line with the overall angle of the video. And another important thing is that YouTube also analyzes the first 60 seconds of your intro. So make sure in your intro, you have an intro that sounds similar to your title. So for this video, I would say something like, I'm about to show you how to get 1,000 subscribers fast. That should be my intro line. That way there is congruency around the entire thing. Then if we go down, we don't need to select a playlist unless it is a part of a playlist that you have, but the really important part is audience. So right here, you can see, yes, it's made for kids. No, it's not made for kids. A lot of people will think, oh, well, my content is made for kids, right? Like kids can watch it, so I should put this one. But the problem is with that, then it only gets pushed out to kids. So essentially, if your content can apply to adults, always put no, it's not made for kids. The only caveat to that would be if you have a dedicated kids show that you are creating. Next, we go on to the advanced settings. So first thing, you do not want to restrict your video to viewers over 18. Even if it is a more profane video, typically you just want to leave this off, because if you click this, then this is going to significantly lower the reach of your video. From here, we go to show more. If you have a product endorsement, then you're going to click paid promotion. But if you don't, then you're going to leave it blank. And that would just be like a sponsorship. Next, we want to say no on altered content, unless you are using AI in your videos. However, if you are using AI, say yes. The reason for this is because YouTube knows that certain audiences are more inclined to watch AI videos, so they'll push them out more to those people. Whereas if you say no, it'll just get pushed out to the normal audience. Next is collaboration. collaboration. And this is a great tool. If you are doing the video as a collab with somebody else, then you can go ahead and invite a collaborator. But for all of you guys who don't do that, then don't worry about it. Next, you have automatic chapters. I like to turn this off because sometimes I'll put my own chapters in the video, but even if you don't and YouTube has that on, then oftentimes they'll actually put the wrong chapters there, right? Because they're using their AI. It's okay. It's not the best. And sometimes it just kind of messes up the video. It's a minor thing, but I would recommend turning that off. Next, we have featured places. Now, unless you're in like a certain city, like New York City, or you're doing a dedicated video about a certain place, like you're going to the Statue of Liberty or something like that, then this one is a turn off. Because with featured places, let's say you're just showing a place in a vlog and that's just a small part of the video. And then under the video title, it says like, you know, Statue of Liberty, right? It doesn't really relate to the video and doesn't really need to be in there. Then we go down to automatic concepts. And this one I would recommend turning off. What this does is it essentially defines complicated terms in your videos for your viewers. But the problem is it's still in experimental mode. It's not that good yet. And oftentimes if you have language in your videos that needs to be explained by AI, then you probably need to simplify the level that you're talking at. Next, we have tags. And this is really where you don't want to overdo it. I use the same tags on every single video that I do. I don't change them at all. The main tags that you want to put are simply just to tell YouTube, hey, here's the person who I'm trying to talk to that I think might be a good fit for my video. Then YouTube will look at those tags. They're not going to push them out to people directly based on the tags, but the overall combination of the tags tells YouTube, hey, this is probably a good audience that we should push this to. So it actually doesn't matter if you have 20 tags, 10 tags, 1 tag, or 3 tags. I have a little bit more here, but I typically recommend between like 3 to 5. That's what I recommend for most people because, you know, it's very, very simple. You just tell YouTube who to send your audience to. Don't worry about the size of the tag or the SEO on the tags. None of that stuff matters. The only thing that YouTube looks at is who is he talking to? And as long as the tags, the description, the title, the thumbnail, and the intro are all in line, it'll push out your video to the right viewer that you have told YouTube is the right viewer. And that is where you get the big views. So for example, me, I'm doing this example on my second channel, which we keep just purely for business owners. So if you are a business owner, go ahead and check that out somewhere over here, wherever the card pops up. But we tell YouTube exactly who this is for. People who are looking how to build a personal brand, how to make business YouTube videos, YouTube for business, how to get clients from YouTube, how to grow a business on YouTube. That is a very clear picture that tells YouTube, hey, send this out to the guy who's interested in how to grow a business on YouTube. Next, you want to have your language. So for this one, you can either leave it blank because YouTube will know what language you're speaking in, or you can just add your language. So I'll just add English here. Doesn't matter at all. Caption certification, leave that as none unless you have some of these very rare circumstances. Then as far as recording date and location, I would not touch that. I would just leave that as is, unless you're doing the video in a certain location or on Christmas Day or something like that, and it's a Christmas special, then it would make sense. But for majority of the time, 99.9% of the time, just leave that off. Next, you have standard YouTube license versus Creative Commons attribution. Now, this one is interesting because you actually have complete control over this. I typically like to change this to Creative Commons because what that does is it actually allows people to use my content, repost my content, which gets me free traffic, free views, and free exposure without, you know, them getting hit or punished or anything like that, right? With any legal stuff. Whereas standard YouTube license, they can use it in the way that YouTube specifies, where they can take small little clips from your video, but they can't just like re-upload the whole thing. I typically just choose Creative Commons and let people upload because again, it's free exposure. The more views, the better. And I'm getting more views without doing any more work. Next is shorts remixing. I always allow video and audio remixing. That allows people to clip my videos and make shorts out of them, which is great. Again, free exposure. Next, you have your categories. So this is actually super interesting. There's really only 2 types of categories that you're going to have. Actually 3. You're going to have education, entertainment, or vlogs. Now there's a lot of other ones, like you have film and animation, how-to style, news, politics, all of this kind of stuff. But for majority of the time, unless you fit into one of these like super specific kind of things, even if like you have a travel vlog channel, you typically don't want to put it as travel and events. You typically want to keep it as entertainment, or for me, I'm just an education channel, right? So I talk about education. Or if we have a gaming channel, you could put gaming. That one works too. The only other one that works is people and blogs for like vlog videos. But honestly, I would still keep those entertainment. I'd say the big 3 are education, entertainment, and gaming. If you have a gaming channel, put it as gaming. If you have an education channel, put it as education. If you have a entertainment, vlog, whatever, put it as entertainment. Then as far as all of these, just leave these blank. You really don't need these. These are really for, if you put education, these are like telling YouTube that, oh, this is from a college curriculum, this college curriculum in this course. The only caveat is if you're making college study videos where you're actively breaking down a course module in college, then don't touch it. And everything else on here you can leave as the defaults. Now we go on and we go through on subtitles. Now subtitles are interesting because you can actually add subtitles. I would recommend it. You can get them pretty cheap. I would just go on Fiverr and look up like YouTube subtitles. People can make them for you. You can also type them out manually, but that's just a pain. I wouldn't even say it's worth it to do that. But I would just go pay somebody to do it, like $5, they'll do it. You upload the file and then boom, you're good. The other option is not doing that, and that's completely fine too. But then we have our end screen, and this one is actually really important. So most of the time, what you want to do on the end screen is you want to look for the point where you say, hey, go watch this video next. For this upload, this is just me and my business partner, so we did not do that in this video, but you want to actually use one of these elements. Then you want to delete the actual subscribe element, choose the specific video that you want to send people to. So we'll send them to this one, and then we're going to put this right in the middle or wherever you point. So if I were to point like right here, then I could put that video like right there. Then you want to make sure that the video, it's actually like the length that you would do it. So you want to look when you say, hey, go watch this video next, and then start that by dragging this bar right there and then end it where that ends. So you can drag it like right there, right? And let's say it starts here, ends here. You want to drag that, make sure it shows up at the right time. Cool. Go ahead and save that. Then we have cards. Cards really aren't that important unless you have a certain part in the video where you need a card. So like, for example, when I mentioned my business channel, the card showed up. That's the only scenario where you would use that if you're mentioning another channel or a website or something along those lines. Next is copyright. If you don't have any copyright issues, then just move on. But if you do, you either have the license for it, like you've gotten it from Artlist, Epidemic Sound, right? They're music services that allow you to use their music on YouTube. You can just upload that license here. The other thing, if you're using like a pop culture song, you could either just deal with the copyright and just take no AdSense on the video, which actually does oftentimes impact the performance of the video, or you could go back through, edit out that music or change it up and then re-upload it. Those are really your only options. Next, there are a few ways to upload your video. So you could set it to public instantly, you could set it to unlisted, or you could schedule it out. Those are really the only ones that I would recommend doing. And I would not set it as a premiere. I would leave that off unless it's like a big event. But let's say I want to upload it on the 3rd at 4 p.m., right? I can just go ahead and schedule that out and it will go from private to public at that time. That's typically how I like to do it. But if you just want to post right away, then all the power to you. As far as upload times go, I would recommend uploading when your audience is most active. And the way to figure that out is, for one, you could look at this YouTube analytics, or a general rule of thumb. If you make content for people in America, typically the morning EST time is the best. So 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. EST, or if you make content for people in the Middle East, morning Middle Eastern time, or if you make content for people in Asia, morning Asian time. So wherever your actual audience is based, typically the morning time for them is going to be the best time to post. Any day of the week doesn't really matter. Unless on your analytics you have such a high volume of people on one single day, then you could focus on that day. But for 99% of channels, they're not going to have that. Any day of the week is fine, as long as you just have that consistent upload schedule going out every single week. From there, we'll go ahead and click publish. From here, once the video goes live, what I would recommend doing is actually promoting it wherever you can. So if you have an email list, send out that the video is live on the email list, post an Instagram story, whatever you can do to get as much traffic on the video as in as short a time frame as possible is usually the best. But this is only the uploading side of it. There's also a lot of problems that can really hurt your channel on the settings side. And that's exactly why I made this video right here that shows you exactly how to set up your YouTube settings so that your channel has the highest likelihood to actually blow up. So go ahead and click right here to see what settings there are and how you can use them to grow your channel. Thanks and have a great day.